Hello everyone. In this video, we are going to study about the major physical features of North America. In the last session, we discussed about Africa. Here, we are going to see the North American continent. Okay. Why we have to study about the geography of the continents, all continents? Because in the for prelims also, it is more important. Because in the international affairs, in current affairs, if any important issues are there, then related to the particular places is asked in the prelims question. And also for mains in GS paper 1, in paper 1, history, society and geography is there. So in the geography syllabus, one major part is the key natural resources around the world. Right. So we should know the relationship between India and other country on the basis of resources. The resource-based relationship we should know. Okay, that we should study in current affairs. But if we understand the resource base of a continent, then we can understand the relationship between India and other countries simply. And why do we give more importance for this? To understand the resource base of the continent, if you understand the physical features of the continent, then you can relate the physical features and the availability of resource in the continent simply. Okay, and thus you can remain the availability of resources, and you can even guess the availability of resources in the continent very easily if you know the physical features of the continent. Okay, and also for the prelims you have to study the physical features. Okay. Now, in the last session also, I said while studying a map, first you should study the surrounding regions of a continent. Here in the North America, we know that it is Pacific Ocean, and here Atlantic Ocean, so that we know. And the marginal seas, Gulf and Bay, then you have to see. Here, Gulf of Mexico, right? Gulf of Mexico region. Okay, and here Labrador Sea. Okay, and here it is Hudson Bay. This island is Baffin Island, in the north of Canada. Baffin Island. So between Baffin Island and Greenland, it is Baffin Bay, and we know that it is Greenland belongs to Denmark country. Okay, and these islands are Caribbean islands. The Cuba, Jamaica, Haiti, Dominican Republic, those countries are there. Okay, Caribbean islands. And then here in the north, it is Beaufort Sea. Okay, and here Bering Sea. So between Alaska, the Aleutian Island, here it is the Bering Strait is there, and the Bering Strait which divides North America and Russia in the west here. Okay, and here Gulf of Alaska. Alaska, important part. Alaska is the province of USA here, because North America has three countries we know: Canada, USA, Mexico. Alaska is here in the north of Canada, but Alaska belongs to USA. Okay, and here Gulf of California. Californian Gulf. Okay, so these are the major regions in the surrounding part of North America. Okay, now let us come inside. The physical map of North America can be divided into three major divisions. That is the western part, completely mountain, okay, and then the Great Plain region, and then here the mountains and the plateaus are there. Okay, so here from the north to south, the long range, it is Rockies Mountain. Okay, Rockies here. Okay, and in the eastern side, there is a mountain, Appalachian Mountain. The Appalachian Mountain is more important. We study in the continental drift theory. Appalachian Mountain and the mountains in the northwestern Europe, Jolin Mountains, those regions have many similarities, because the North America and Europe were once united. After 200 million years ago, it split, right? In the continental drift theory, we study about it. The Appalachian and the mountains in northwestern Europe, they splitted. The evidence is they have many similarities. Okay. The Appalachian Mountain, Rocky Mountain are important. In the Rocky Mountain region, there are many local names for the ranges are there. Here it is Sierra Nevada. Okay, in the southwestern USA. Okay, Sierra Nevada, and in the Canada region, it is Coastal Range. Okay, Sierra Nevada, Coastal Range are more important, and then Mackenzie Range. Here, Mackenzie Range, and then here Brooks Range in the north of Alaska. Okay, Brooks Range, and here Alaska Range in the south. Okay, in the south of Alaska, Alaska Range. In the north, Brooks Range. Okay, then Mackenzie Range, Coastal Range, Sierra Nevada. Okay, and then the plateau, important plateau, or here Mexican Plateau in the Mexico country, Mexican Plateau, and here Colorado Plateau. Colorado Plateau in this part, and then Laurentian Plateau in Canada. So the three major plateaus are here. Okay, in the three countries, in Mexico, Mexican Plateau; in USA, Colorado Plateau; in Canada, Laurentian Plateau. Simply you can remember. Okay, and here it is called as the Canadian Shield. So the Canadian Shield and the Laurentian Plateau region, which have the oldest rocks of the world. Right, we know Aravalli is one of the oldest mountain in the world, right? Similarly, the oldest rocks are found in this region, Laurentian Plateau and the Canadian Shield region. Okay. So the mountain here, folded mountain. Rocky Mountain is a folded mountain like our Himalayan mountain. Himalayan mountain formed due to the convergence of Indian plate and the Eurasian plate. Similarly, the Rocky Mountain is a folded mountain formed due to the convergence of Pacific plate and North American plate. Okay, right. Then so here mountain, here mountain. The in-between range is a plain region. Okay, so it is called as Great Plain. Okay, Great Plain region here. Okay, so actually the Rocky Mountain is a north-south stretching mountain, and here also plateau and the mountain Appalachian is also north-south stretching. In between there is no barrier here. That is the difference between Asia, South Asia and North America. So in South Asia, Himalaya is a east stretching mountain. So it is a barrier to the Arctic cold wind. But in North America, there is no barrier for the Arctic cold wind. That's why the extreme cold wind enters up to tropical region in Mexico. Okay, so if there is no Himalaya, our North Indian part would have become desert, right? Due to the cold Arctic wind, which would have occupied. So here there is no barrier like Himalaya to us. So the cold wind extends up to the tropical Mexico region. Okay, so understand this concept. Then, so these are the major physical features, and in the Great Plain region, in the eastern part, one important feature is there, that is the Great Lakes of America. Okay, so the Great Lakes of America, why it is called as Great Lakes of America? Because of their area, because the largest freshwater lake is the Superior Lake, you know, right? The Superior Lake is here. It is located. The 5 major lakes here. Okay, so it is Superior Lake. So these lakes are located in the boundary of USA and Canada, actually. Okay, Michigan Lake, Huron Lake, Erie Lake, Ontario Lake are the major lakes. Okay, Superior Lake is the largest freshwater lake in the world. Here, the Michigan lakes alone lies fully in USA. In other lakes, the midline is the boundary between USA and Canada. Okay, here. Okay. If you want to compare, you can guess that Superior Lake area is about 67,000 square kilometer. So you can compare the area of a small state in India with Superior Lake. Okay, so such a large lake. Okay, That's why the Great Lakes of America, these five are. So they have such a large freshwater potential. And then in Canada, Lake Winnipeg is located, a province name. And then the Great Slave Lake, and then the Great Bear Lake. Okay. So due to the colonization and some historical event, they have named it as the Great Slave Lake. And bear is Arctica animal. Winnipeg is a province. Okay, and these lakes are. And the famous waterfall, Niagara waterfall, it is located between the Erie and Ontario. Okay, here it is located. Okay, and then the important river in North America are most importantly Mississippi River, okay, and its a tributary Missouri is important. Mississippi and Missouri River are important, and then Colorado River here, Colorado River, okay, this is more important. And then in the from the lake, St. Lawrence River flows towards Atlantic Ocean. Okay, St. Lawrence River, and then near New York, Hudson River. Okay. And then Saskatchewan River in Canada are important rivers. Okay, so Mississippi, Missouri are more important. Mississippi, the Colorado, St. Lawrence rivers are. Okay. So these are the major physical features of particularly the landforms of the North America. Okay, and then in the surrounding regions, we should know that here the Californian cold ocean current, which moves here in this direction. Okay, so near California, you can remember Californian cold ocean current, and here the Alaskan warm ocean current, which surrounds here. Okay, Alaskan warm ocean current, and similarly here Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf current, warm current. Okay, and here one of the marginal sea, Saragossa Sea. I forgot to say it. Saragossa Sea. The Sargassum algae is abundant over this region. That's why the sea is called as Saragossa Sea in the north of Caribbean islands. Okay, so the Gulf current and the Labrador current, cold current, which moves in this direction. Labrador cold current moves in this direction, and near in this region, the Labrador cold current and the Gulf warm current meet. Okay, and it has some impact. Let us discuss in the ocean topic. Okay, so these are the important currents surrounding North America. Okay, so which has some impact on the physical features and the climate pattern of the North American zone. Okay, so that's all. Now we should know the climatic regions of North America. And now I said you may remember that if you have conceptual clarity on the climatic classification chart, what we explained in the last video, then you can simply fit the chart in any continent of the world, right? Okay, so now I do explain you and you can understand this very simply. Okay. If you know the latitude of the continent, you should know the basic latitudinal zones of the continent. If you know the latitude, then you can simply fit the chart, directly fit the chart in the continent, and you can understand the climatic zones of the continent. Okay, so the continental chart we explained in the last video. Now if you know the latitude, just remember here it is about 10 degree. Below it is the Central America, and up to Brazil it is equatorial type climate. Equator passes through the Ecuador Brazil region. Okay, so the equatorial type climate, then 10 degree, then here just assume 30 degree. Okay, 10, 30, 45, okay, mid latitude, 60 degree, and then 90 degree up to polar region. Okay, so now if you divide the latitudinal zones of North America like this, then you can simply assume the climatic zones also. Now fit the chart with the continent. Now here in this part it is desert. The Mojave Desert and Sonoran Desert are located here. So the desert climate. Okay, and here the monsoon type due to the trade, onshore trade wind. And here the Mexican part, the middle part, it is tropical grassland region. So savanna grassland region, savanna type. Simply you can guess. And then in the central part of USA, it is the prairie grassland. That is the steppe. Okay, the steppe grassland is locally here called as prairie. A prairie in North America, Veld in South Africa, okay, Pampas, that's why in Argentina. Okay, the prairie steppe type climate. Okay, and here it is China type then. So what these climates are that we have explained in the last video. Here the Californian southwestern part of the North America. Here Mediterranean type climate. Okay, and the border of USA and Canada, the southwestern Canada, Vancouver Island, those regions, it is British type climate. Okay, and the central, the coniferous forest, taiga forest. Okay, here, and Laurentian type climate. And then above 60, it is polar type tundra. That's all. Very simply, you can guess the climatic regions of the continent. Okay, if you know the climate and conceptual clarity in the climatic chart, right? Okay, and you can guess the vegetation pattern if you know the climate. The vegetation pattern is the consequence of the climate, right? So here savanna grassland, here deciduous forest regions, tropical deciduous, here desert xerophytes, here temperate grassland steppe, here China type, monsoon type. Monsoon type, China type, Mediterranean vegetation, it is winter rainfall region, and Laurentian type mixed forest, taiga forest, and British type mixed forest, tundra type vegetation, lichens and mosses. Okay, so it is very simple to understand. Okay, then so if you know these concepts, where the folded mountain, where the oldest plateau regions are located, and the plain regions, if you know the climatic region, then you can simply guess the agricultural pattern of the continent and the mineral resource of the continent. So how can we relate the mineral resources agricultural pattern with the climate and physical features of the continent? That we shall discuss in another video. Okay, so that's all the North America. The political part we will discuss separately, the African political and the North American political also. First, let us finish the physical features. Okay, so revise this, and if you have any other doubt, please comment in the comment box. If you need any other video also, please comment. Thank you all.